Hey yo, Rick, Fearless, Strokers Dallas, Strokers Ice House, Punchwally Garage, Fearless Services. Good morning. How you doing? All right. Today is Tuesday, June the 17th, 2025, year of our Lord, season number 3, episode number 168. In today's show, we will talk about 650 acres. Let's go. In My Life, the 365 Project, coming to you almost live from almost downtown Dallas in the powerful CHUMP studio. Today's show is brought to you by Reliable Diamond Tool. That's ready2.com, REDITOO.com. Check them out for concrete and masonry working tools. Also brought to you by Simpson Motorcycle Helmets. If you got a $100 head, you should wear a $100 helmet. But if your head is priceless, like that one, you should wear a Simpson. They are the best. We are a dealer. What questions do you have? Simpson's the best. That's what you should wear. StrokersDallasMerch.com. Spire, S-P-I-R-E, ConstructionInc.com. They are a full-scale residential general contractor. If you're having an issue at your house, your roof, your floor, your walls, your heating, your air conditioning, you want to redo your kitchen, SpireConstructionInc.com. Tell them I sent you. Maverick Harley-Davidson, Longhorn Harley-Davidson, the official Harley-Davidson dealers for Strokers Dallas and Strokers Ice House. Check those fine folks out. But right now, turn off that news and let's me and you take a stroll down memory lane. Today, the Mr. Peabody Wayback Machine goes back to 1970. Growing up as a young kid, my mom's aunt and uncle, my grandma's sister, my memaw that lived in Irving, her sister was married to T.R. Rogers. Well, they're the ones that owned Roach Paint, and my mom was very, very close with them, like a daughter to them. And so when my brother and I were born, they were like the rich people in the family. They had a ranch in East Texas, Cayuga, Texas, 650 acres. And when my great uncle, we call him Sarge, when he would get off work on Fridays from Roach Paint, they also had a big boat at the Lake Texoma. So when he would get off, you would either go to the farm for the weekend or you'd go to the boat. Well, we loved to do both. When we'd go to the boat, that's where I learned to play golf there at the country club and all that. When we would go to the farm, that's where I learned to ride motorcycles for the first time and ride horses and do, some outdoor country kind of things. They even had a party line, out there in the country. Their phones were on the party line. But it was there that I rode my first motorcycle when I was like 9 or 10 years old. And it just stuck with me. There was just something special about that. They had horses out there. When we would ride the horses, they had Jeeps out there. We would drive the Jeeps. They had, he called them carry-alls, it's kind of like a Suburban. They had carry-alls out there, International Harvesters out there. And they had this one thing they called a coot, C-O-O-T. Well, the coot was like a land and water vehicle, and you could drive it on the land kind of like a Jeep, and there was no top or nothing on it. It kind of looked like a dune buggy, but it was watertight, and it had a little rudder on it so you could drive it across the water. So when they had a lot of water out there at the ranch. So when they first got it, they told us, don't take it in the water. Y'all are just kids. Don't take it in the water. And we said, no, sir, we won't do that. And then Wasn't a few days later, they caught us over at the edge of the water contemplating. So they took it and they drilled a bunch of holes in the floor so that it couldn't go in water. But our favorite thing was riding the motorcycles. So we had like a Trail 70 and a mini Trail 50, and then he had this little Bonanza mini bike, and we just absolutely loved riding those motorcycles, those little motorcycles. That's where I got it from. Right now, what you're going to get from is these Chucks. Ooh, you're wearing them copper Chucks. Kind of a rust copper, like a penny. Pennies no more. What's the deal with that? What are they going to do with all them pennies? They worthless now? My stuff's $5.99. Now it'll have to be $6. White so double black racing stripes. Can't buy much for $6. Boot bottom, candy Ford vent hose, tan logo, matching shoestrings, one eye down, double knotted for safety. These are, say it with me, y'all, these are some handsome Chucks. So for years, I throw my change in a jar. One of these 5-gallon buckets. You can see that one's about halfway full. So usually what I do when I get them full, and it takes a few years to get them full, is I give them to the kids. I'll give one to Rad or one to Biggin, and if I remember right, when it's full and it's full of change, a couple of grand, $2 or $3 grand in there, $3,500, something like that. So maybe when those full, I give them to the grandkids. That's what I'll do with that. What was Grandma Goldie doing? Speaking of grandkids, I'm a grandkid. What was my Grandma Goldie doing 76 years ago today, June 17th, 1949 was a Friday. Grandma wrote, I cleaned the house this morning. Shine, Frankie, Jean, and Lorraine came over this evening and went swimming. Well, I don't think Grandma and Grandpa had a swimming pool at the farm, but Deanna, I asked my cousin Deanna, I could be wrong there. Maybe they had like a above ground, I don't know. Maybe, you know what it was? It's probably swimming in one of the tanks out there, one of the lakes or the ponds. That's what that was. Duh. Didn't even think about that. That's because I'm a city boy. Dad joke, how do you make a fire with 2 sticks? You just make sure one of those 2 sticks is a match. Get off the couch, a motivational minute. You may have to fight a battle more than once to win it. That's true. That means anything worth having is worth fighting for. If you want something bad enough, just go get it. But be ready to fight for it. Today is Tuesday, so that means Kenny Chavez and the boys making music over there. That'll be good. They always put on a good show. It's a jam, so you can sit in with them, and they encourage that. I'm pretty tired. It's pretty early. You'll see how early it is. You'll see how early I get here sometimes. Not yet midnight. All right, Rick, Fearless, I got to go, but remember this, there ain't no place like this place. Love you, Alice. Bye, y'all.